Hello, my loves. I hope everybody's good. Um, been gone for a little over a week, so I just kind of wanted to check in with everybody, let you know what was going on. Um, I had a little bit of a crisis right before I left. I had taken my fridge out of the van to just kind of organize stuff and plugged it in the house where I was, and so my battery was off the day of my party, and like the van viewing and everything. I went to plug it back in and get it charged up, and it wouldn't take a charge. I had an issue with it back in February, but it snapped out of it. It came to this time it wasn't doing it, so it was basically dead, and I had to fight with Blue Eddy, but I am returning everything that I bought from them and getting a full refund. So that's happening. That's good. But I got a bunch of stuff I got to send back. I have a new power supply. I already ordered it and had it in hand before Blue Eddy sent me the shipping labels. So I'm covered, and I actually spent less and have twice the power now. So I guess it was a good thing we didn't get that charger installed, James. Anyhow, what else is up? Went to the race, went to a Fever game. I'm totally in love with women's basketball now. Um, I mean, just women in general, sports, me, girl power and all that. But making sure that while I'm here, I get to spend as much time making memories with my buddy Ron. And going to the race was amazing. Growing up in Indiana, like, it's a part of Hoosier culture. So uh, I grew up maybe 20 minutes west of Speedway. So, like, the only thing that my family ever had to say about the race was, complaining about the traffic. Um, grew up in the same town as like the Andretti family and stuff like that. So it just wasn't a thing I was into. But getting there, and just the energy and the vibe, and like how excited all the people. I was like the only girl sitting in probably within 10 people in either direction, and surrounded by a bunch of old guys. But like they'd been coming for years, just like Ron had. This was his 26th year, I think he said, 25th or 26th year. The seats were fantastic, the weather was perfect. um there were no like fights or anything dramatic happening. Everybody was just happy and in a good mood. Met people from other states and other places and just had a really good time with that. And then, it was the closest finish in Indianapolis Motor Speedway history. And so that was really cool to be there for that. There were actually three finishes that were the closest thing. It was the first, third, and sixth place finishes were all photo finishes. So that was really cool, and there was a lot of excitement around it. Of course, I was rooting for Catherine, who was out at like lap 18. I cried. Like, I cried, and I got real worried. I was so sad for her because she's the first woman and one of only five, or the fifth or the sixth driver to ever attempt to do what they call the double. So she ran the 500 and then flew to Charlotte, North Carolina, and did the Coca-Cola 600. And I mean, since she didn't finish the 500, because she blew into some smoke from another car, didn't see it, and spun out. Like, it wasn't like somebody hit her, but it was still, I was worried about her. But she got to the 600 and she finished the 600. So, and she's the only woman to ever do it. So go her. Plus her car is really cool. Um, let's see, going to another Fever game this week with Ron before I head back east. And I had been kind of up in the air about whether I was going to head to Maine or whether I was going to do the UP, but I think I am going to go ahead and head to the coast, finding that I kind of miss the ocean and I miss the water and I need some of that. So I'm going to go get me some of that. And here in a couple of days, I'm going to actually like do some fossil hunting and camping around Indiana. Like, my family didn't do that. We didn't do that stuff growing up. So like there's a lot of part of my home state that I haven't even gotten to explore, and like the stuff that interests me now and that I really want to do. um I get to experience Indiana like that. But I'm not I'm not itching to stay any longer than I need to. So yeah, here probably next weekend or so, I'll start heading east. And there's a cannabis festival a little bit south in Ohio that I think I'm gonna hit too. Spend a few days getting high with strangers. Why not? I've done it before, right? Um, Other than that, everything's great. The van's been great. The rear view mirror did fall off on some bumpy roads in North Carolina. Um, but I mean, it slid right back on, but like the dash cam. Oh, and the Blue Eddy, my little purple power, like because I had two power banks. I had the larger one and the smaller one. The smaller one, I was like, okay, the big one's dead, blah blah blah. So I took the smaller one and it came with a cable so I could plug it into the cigarette lighter to charge. And it was so stiff that it broke a hole in my dash. Here, I'll show you real quick. Yeah, so that's a thing in my van now. I mean, it was 20 years old and it was still perfect, but a Blue Eddy cable decided that we're gonna we're gonna just make it crappy. Anyhow, everything's great. I miss you all. I love you. And I will talk to you guys soon. Be well.